Day to everybody and welcome to Unique Vibrations Midday Show. I'm Donna Ferguson, your host and producer of the weekly Unique Vibrations TV show. I'm really excited today because our topic is one I'm extremely passionate about, and it is about sense of language. And I want to ask you a question, and that would be, how many of you allow people to speak to you without always showing you the utmost respect? And, even if it's in fun or in joking, it's important to not allow that to happen. And what are you doing to address that? So before we go any further, thank you everyone for joining us today. I am doing this pre-recorded because my live froze halfway through. I'm excited about getting this up because I really do have a fabulous gift for you at the end. I'd love to know where you are in the world. Wherever you're tuning in from, please just pop your comments in below. I'd love to know. Brisbane is just turning into a little bit of an overcast day today, but it's been absolutely glorious. The sun's been shining, and we're coming up for spring very, very soon. And I can't wait for the warmer weather to get here. I don't know about you guys, But yes, please let me know. Just pop a comment, a heart, a thumbs up, whatever. Let me know you're here watching. I really like being able to interact with all of you and engage with all of you every week. And today is no different. I want to be able to share with you some information and some details that really keep me moving forward all the time. Now, as I said, we're going to talk about sense of language today. And the first question that I ask you is, what is your self-talk like? In other words, if you're doing something wrong and you find that, you're saying to yourself that you're stupid or, along those lines, similar, how good is that for don't forget your subconscious mind picks up everything sinks in, it sticks, and it really starts to believe the things that you tell yourself constantly. So for those of you saying that, let's hope that you're not making mistakes too often, because your subconscious mind is going to hear that all the time. So let's find a way around that and find out how we can stop doing that, to allow you to actually be a little bit more productive, and especially if you're in business for yourself. So, your success really does depend on how you speak to yourself, because it also encourages what you allow into your life, the conversations that you hold, how you hold those conversations, and how people will speak to you and respect you when they do have a conversation with you. So language is such an important part of everyday life. It's about, building relationships with your loved ones. It's about, building relationships with your business associates. It's about building relationships with your clients. Communication is such a massive part of our everyday life. Simply, I want to say, don't overcomplicate things. It's really easy to start getting complicated, and there is so much complication in life these days. We have technology, it all takes time and effort to learn it and work it, and then work it out, and then find out what you're doing wrong, and it's ongoing. Like, complication is unnecessary in everyday life. Keep things simple. When you keep things simple, you will find that what you can find out in that simplified format can be expanded into sections of more simplified formats. In other words, to expand what the simple answers are and get the depth through simplification. I can't express that more for you. And that's what I do. I keep things very simple. I don't like to overcomplicate them. I like to be able to speak to all sorts of people and communicate clearly with conversations that I hold with them. And that I can do that by keeping things simple. So that's really important. It's a really important step in moving forward as well with your communication skills. So the second thing is, no matter what happens, challenges are going to hit us. I am experiencing some really major challenges at the moment outside of my work. And, this is something that you've got to process your challenges as they come up, step by step. Do what needs to be done, get it out of the road, and then put your energy into what you love. Or leave those things till later in the day if you possibly can, and work them out as you need to, and keep your high energy for what you want to do and what you love to do, because it's really important that everything that you do, that your passion is on point, and that your communication is on point, and that your understanding of your projection of where you want to be is on point. And all that comes down to how you speak to yourself, how you speak to others, and how you receive communication. So, when this is all brought to your attention, it's quite unbelievable how quickly you start noticing things. So, how others speak to you, what they say to you in a conversation, and simple things like, we all have the busyness of our life. Well, that's one word. It really makes me angry. Not angry, but frustrated. I don't like to be busy. I like to be productive. I like to keep my schedule full so that I can be productive. I can tick box everything and know that the job's done. At the end of the day, I can look at my list and go, yes, I've done everything I need to do. Now I need to transfer that over to somewhere else. But for me, I see so many people going, oh, you're such a busy weekend. You're so busy all the time. Well, that's a word I choose not to use in my vocabulary. And, it's something that you might notice a difference too when you start saying, oh, my schedule's really full all of a sudden and I've got lots to do and it's really productive. But don't be busy. The busyness of it all just is busyness. People who are busy, people who are crazy busy, and you should see their lives. They're pretty crazy, with that running around doing things. There's no focus. There's no process. There's no systems in place to be able to run smoothly day in and day out. So that's one thing that I will really heavily point out today, and I can guarantee that you'll start seeing those differences really soon when you start changing your own language. And when you start improving your own self-talk, and, like I said, when you do something, it's like, oh, I'm so stupid, I shouldn't have done that. At the end of the day, we can look at that and say, okay, so this occurred when I did that. I'd really like to be able to try a different option. I know that wasn't great, but I think there might be just one small factor that I can work out. So you're finding a solution to why things didn't go the right way. I mean, sometimes it's simply that you lose focus, and that's really important to be able to understand that, the way that you look at resolving those issues as opposed to the way that you speak to yourself in a moment, rather than understanding, well, I can do better than that. I know I can. I've got the information here now. I'm going to take care of that. All those things, it's really, really important. And as I said, when you start noticing, when you start changing your language, the people that are talking to you will start changing their language as well. So, it's not just about this, it's also about how you communicate with others. So when you start changing your language and the way that you speak to yourself, you will actually start to see massive changes in the way people respond to you, the way that they communicate back to you. Remember that most people speak to you with a mirror image of who they are, and that includes yourself. So for me, it's about giving the best version of myself in a conversation with people, to be able to communicate clearly, and also to be able to have an understanding and actively listening to what other people are saying to me, so that I understand whether or not they're going to continue an association with me or not. And, it's important to pick that information up really clearly and instantly in an initial conversation. So, no matter how hard you try to improve yourself, if you're going to hang around with people who are negative and speak negatively and don't respect you when they do speak to you, then you're going to find if there's 9 of them, you're going to be the 10th person in that circle of negativity. So remember, your associations are really important. You need to choose them really carefully, and you need to understand by actively listening to the conversations and the words that they use, if they're going to be an association you want to be or continue to involve yourself with. And in saying that, it's also about how, what others say about you. Really, it's what other people think of you, especially when they're trying to drag you down, really is none of your business. And I say this with respect, because if you let what other people say about you affect you, then you will find that you're going to lower your vibration, which will lower your energy, which will lower your availability to be able to communicate when there's an opportunity, and all sorts of things. It really does affect your whole life. So just bear those things in mind, and understand that what people do think about you really doesn't matter. It's not important, and in saying that, I've got an exercise I want you to do, and this will actually be important for you to understand what they're saying about you, but in a different way. So I want you to write down how you see yourself and what you think other people see you as. So in other words, if somebody was to come up to you and say, I want you to tell me what you think of me as a person, as a business person, as an owner, as a mother, as a wife, as a whatever. So somebody you trust, you want to ask them, you want to write, let me say that again. So you want to write down those things, and then I want you to go to that person and ask them. You can email them and say, can you please email me a full perception of how you see me as a person, as a business owner, as a mother, as a wife, as a sister, whatever that might be. I will guarantee that that person will send you some lovely description of who you are, and it will be nothing like what you thought it would be. So remember, how others see you is often very, very different to how you see yourself, which then in turn actually gives you an understanding of how you should be speaking to yourself. Interesting, isn't it? So I just love that. And I love that, your language has a bearing on so many areas in your life. So, don't depend on others for your happiness. Your happiness starts within. The more you love yourself and speak to yourself lovingly, the more that you're going to be able to really find true happiness. And you need to take care of yourself from the inside and trust that your instincts will guide you and let you evolve naturally, truthfully, honestly, and, with nothing except your higher self to honor. When you honor your higher self, your vibration will raise to a level where your energy and your understanding of who you are will physically show, mentally show, verbally show, emotionally show, and most of all spiritually show. So that's really important for me. Now, I'm coming to a close of this week's show. We're on episode 13 this week. That's just phenomenal. And, I want to offer you something very special, which I mentioned at the beginning. And that is, I really want you to contact me on the link below if you would like a 15-minute power call. We're going to power you up and find out a few things that might be stopping you from moving forward. And it's really important for me to share that with you and, give you an opening and an understanding of where you can go in your life. And that's really important for me. I'll have, some things to ask you, and we're going to work through 15-minute power call very, rapidly, find out some stuff that you can go away and do. So I'm looking forward to that. Please take advantage of this. This is not something that I'm going to do every week, and I really do want to help you out as much as I can. So this is a fabulous gift for you this week. And, remember, wherever you are in the world, I'd love to know where you've been tuning in from. I am so excited to have you here. My mission in life is creating extraordinary women through raising vibrational energy to honor your higher self. That's what I do. And that's that's my key message to all women. And, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to have some comments in the comment boxes. But please, most of all, take advantage of the gift that I want to give you today, because it's going to be such a powerful tool that I might offer again or I might not. And in saying that, I want you to be able to come along and really join me in this journey with honoring yourself. So until next week, be extraordinary, not ordinary. And I look forward to seeing you at midday next Thursday for Unique Vibrations Midday Show. Take care. Have a fabulous week. Or should I say, have an extraordinary week. Raise that vibration and, take life to the full.